we had one horse that came in the stable that looked not great, and I was a bit suspicious, so we sent him up to Kim to scope, and he had grade 4 bleeding ulcers. So then one by one, we scoped 9 horses, and all 9 had ulcers.
Also, I think because we call gastric problems or gastric ulcerations one syndrome, whilst they're actually 2 different types. So when we look into the stomach, we can sort of split the stomach into 2 regions, the region that actually causes or produces acid and the region that doesn't. And the treatment that we use for either one of them is really different. So with knowing this information, we can better treat them. And by rescoping after we finish treating or think we finished treating, we can decide if the problem is fixed and if this is a horse that is probably at risk in the future.
Now that we've treated the ulcers, we're really amazed at the how the horses have developed after. For the one horse that's really amazing is one of our Grand Prix horses that, we thought last year would be jumping, the big things. And he just sort of, after the circuit in Oliva, he just went down and he was sound. We couldn't figure it out. Daniel kept saying he just has no push. He has no, he's spooky, but he has no energy for the work. And we scoped him, and voila, he had not a huge ulcer problem, but an ulcer problem. And, it's sort of his first show back was last week, and he was, clear and double clear in the 140. And so, I feel like we're getting our horse back. So it's amazing the different symptoms. And because our horses didn't look like classically what you think an ulcer horse looks like. They look good in the coat. They're heavy enough, and and some of the horses, most of the horses that we had the basic stomach ulcers, which cause the pain, but we had a few that had the hind end ulcers, which you had to treat with the misoprostol rather than the Gastrogard. And I found that interesting because you sort of just think, I'll just give them Gastrogard, and if they have ulcers, that's going to fix it, but it doesn't, right?
No, I think that's true. That's the value of being able to distinguish between those 2 types, so that you know to use which type of medicine, because we now know that the glandular ones, the ones at the end part of the stomach going into small intestines, are the ones that don't really respond well to Gastrogard or Ulcergold or any different type. They don't respond to omeprazole by themselves. So it is really important to do that. I think another important thing is what you just said, is that not all of the symptoms we can just throw onto gastric problems. So being able to check them, know that there is no orthopedic or internal medicine issue other than this is important. We see a lot of problems combined with other things. But for those horses that are checked up and we cannot find anything, just a small maybe performance thing that is different from before, those are the ones that we know now that these problems can be caused by ulcerations.
We've gotten some really positive feedback from this episode of Equestrian Talk. Big shout out to Kim DeGraff for her time and collaboration on this first episode. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm really glad so many people found it useful. And stay tuned for more episodes of Equestrian Talk coming soon.